A Sharia court was operating in Texas with judges, a written constitution, and rulings it called final. And on its own website, the court claimed something extraordinary. It claimed it settled disputes among American Muslims with the approval of the Texas judicial system. But Texas approved nothing. That line is gone now. So is the page where the same court conceded that the body of law it applied included stoning and the cutting off of hands. The governor of Texas read those pages before they vanished. So did the attorney general. A court that quietly deletes its own founding charter has already told you what it was willing to put in writing back when it believed nobody was reading. On May 13, 2026, a witness sat down in a House Judiciary hearing room in Washington and told members of Congress that Islamic legal bodies operating inside the United States were issuing religious rulings declaring that apostates and blasphemers could be killed. A congresswoman asked her to confirm that this violated the Constitution and the rights of the people caught inside those tribunals. The answer came back as a single word: correct. That exchange traveled across American social media within 48 hours. It's also, as we're about to show you, the weakest piece of evidence in this entire story. The strongest evidence was never spoken aloud in that room at all. It was a document. It had been sitting in public on the open internet for years. Nobody needed a whistleblower to find it. Nobody needed a leak. We went and read it, and what it says is stranger, colder, and far more legally dangerous than anything that the witness said out loud. The organization is called the Islamic Tribunal, and it's based in the Dallas area. It didn't describe itself in modest terms. In its own words, it was a unique institution of its kind in the United States of America. Its stated ambition was not to serve one neighborhood or one mosque. It hoped, in its own phrasing, to set a precedent that would be emulated and duplicated throughout the country. This was not a quiet mediation service trying to keep a low profile. This was an institution announcing itself as a template. Its founding document was styled as a constitution, not a mission statement, not a charter of principles, but a constitution, with articles laying out jurisdiction and authority the way that a real legal system does. Under it, the tribunal held that it was authorized to resolve any dispute among Muslims residing in the USA. Any dispute, not just theological questions, not just matters of private conscience. Its own material described a broad catalog of cases it would take on, from divorce and family law to commercial disputes and community conflicts. Its judges were required to hold a degree in Islamic law approved by a renowned Islamic institution. The men listed carried credentials from Al-Azhar University in Cairo, from Istanbul University, from a university in Alexandria, Egypt. The tribunal was headed by Yusuf Zia Kavaki, described on the site as resident scholar at what it called the largest mosque in North Texas. And the decisions that those judges handed down would be final, according to Islamic jurisprudence. Final. That is the word that turned a prayer circle into a problem. But none of that is the sentence that brought the governor of Texas down on this organization. That sentence was a claim about America, because the tribunal did not merely say its rulings were final in the eyes of God. It said something about the eyes of the state. In its constitution, the Islamic Tribunal held itself out as authorized to resolve any dispute among Muslims residing in the United States under the approval of the Texas judicial system. Again, under the approval of the Texas judicial system. But Texas gave no such approval. No court granted it. No statute conferred it. No judge signed anything. The Attorney General of Texas would later state flatly that the organization falsely represented that its decisions were final judgments carrying that approval. An institution that calls itself a court, appoints men it calls judges, issues what it calls final judgments, and then tells the people appearing before it that the state of Texas has signed off on the whole arrangement, is no longer doing religion. It's doing something else. And there's a word for that something else in the Texas Penal Code. Now we'll get to that word, because first you need to hear what else was on that website.